Hello, Cambodia. This is Siem Reap, a city in Cambodia. Here stands a majestic building, the Angkor Wat Temple. Angkor Wat is one of the most important archaeological sites in Southeast Asia and the largest religious monument in the world, visited by over 2 million tourists annually. It has become the pride of Cambodia and even ASEAN. Angkor Wat lies 4 miles or 6 kilometers north of the town of Siem Reap in Cambodia, and it's stretching over 400 kilometers square, including forested areas. But the temple complex itself is located on a site measuring 162 hectares or 162 kilometers square. With its 5 lotus-like shrines, Angkor Wat's tallest shrine rises 65 meters into the sky. This is the history of the Angkor Wat Temple. In its time, Angkor Wat was the grandest complex in Cambodia as the center of the Khmer Empire. The Khmer Empire, or the Angkorian Empire, is a term used by historians to refer to Cambodia from 802 to 1431 century, when Cambodia was a Hindu-Buddhist empire in Southeast Asia. The construction of Angkor Wat took place over 28 years, from 1120 to 1150 century. It's more than 900 years old right now. Angkor Wat was built during the reign of Khmer King Suryavarman II. Suryavarman II is considered one of the greatest monarchs of the Khmer Empire for his creation of a strong central government that united the land. In addition, Suryavarman II also sent numerous military expeditions against the kingdom of Dai Viet in modern-day Vietnam and the neighboring Champa kingdoms, but these were largely unsuccessful. His greatest successes were in diplomacy, not war, as he successfully opened relations with China, which increased trade and stimulated the economy. Although he is remembered as a great ruler, Suryavarman II was a usurper because he assassinated his great-uncle, Dharanendravarman I, to take the throne. And then Suryavarman II legitimized his rule through personal accomplishments and immortalized it through the construction of the grand complex of Angkor Wat, dedicated to his personal protector god Vishnu, most likely in gratitude for his victory. He had amassed considerable wealth through trade and taxes and spread no expense at all in the creation of his temple. They name it as Angkor Wat. Its name Angkor Wat means City of the Temple. It was created as a physical manifestation of human interaction with the realm of the gods. Each of its spires depicts the mountains of eternity and is surrounded by a moat representing the eternal waters of life. It was built by using 1.5 cubic meters of sand and silt. This building was purposefully situated, and paths were created in the jungle so that visitors could only enter from the west, a direction traditionally associated with the land of the dead, but also with Vishnu, where visitors will experience spiritual renewal as they drew closer to the divine energies of the temple. The design and imposing height were intended to draw the eye upwards to read the great stories of the gods, heroes, and ancestors carved in stone across the walls and up the columns of the great temple. All around the complex, homes and workshops were built, markets and other businesses were opened, and a network of roads was created. A substance known as laterite was formed to support the emerging temple, which was then encased in sandstone. The sandstone blocks used in construction were quarried from a site known as the Kulon Hills 18 miles north and floated to the construction site through a series of canals. According to some interpretations, it is unknown how long the construction took to complete, and it was never fully completed. What is the religious background of the Angkor Wat temple? Originally constructed as a Hindu temple dedicated to the god Vishnu for the Khmer Empire by King Suryavarman II, it was gradually transformed into a Buddhist temple towards the end of the century. Now, Angkor Wat is also described as a Hindu-Buddhist temple. But how was the story? Suryavarman II practiced a form of Hinduism known as Vaishnavism, which is devotion to the god Vishnu above all others. Although Hinduism is generally regarded as a polytheistic religion by Westerners, it is actually henotheistic, meaning there is only one god with many different aspects. In a henotheistic belief system, a single god is considered too immense to be grasped by the human mind and so appears in a multiplicity of personalities, all of which focus on a single different aspect of human life. In Hinduism, Brahma is the supreme deity who creates the world, while in his form as Vishnu, he preserves life, and as Shiva, takes life away and rewards humans for their toil with death, which then continues the cycle of rebirth or leads to union with the Oversoul. Angkor Wat reflects the course of life, death, and eternity according to Vaishnavism, removing Brahma as the supreme god and replacing him with Vishnu. Vishnu appears to human beings in many forms throughout the centuries as avatars, like the popular Hindu god Krishna, to guide and instruct people. The most famous example of this comes from the religious text Bhagavad Gita, or Song of God, when Krishna visits Prince Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to explain the nature of existence and one's purpose in life. The temple of Angkor Wat is designed to fulfill the same purpose through its ornamentation, which tells the story of human condition, the immanence of the gods, and how one is to best live one's life. The rise of Vaishnavism in Cambodia was a direct result of the conflicts between the Khmer and the neighboring Khampa. Suryavarman I extended the frontiers of his realm into Thailand during his reign and came into conflict with the cities of the Khampa. The Khampa's religion was Buddhism, which was also the faith of the Khmer elite, where this Buddhism was viewed with hostility by most Khmer who saw it as a threat to their faith. Vishnu, as a protector god, rose in popularity through these conflicts and the backlash against Buddhism. By the time of Suryavarman II's reign, the form of Hinduism known as Brahmanism, which favored the elite, was growing more popular in the region. Moreover, Buddhism had also gained more adherents. Suryavarman II was known as a king who elevated the position of the common people, using religion by decreeing the worship of Vishnu, a deity who was a protector of all, not the supreme creator aspect nor the destructive aspect, but the mediator between human beings and the divine, who had also proven himself a benevolent guardian. One of the most popular stories of Vishnu's kindness and cleverness in the interest of human beings is the churning of the ocean, in which he tricks the demons into surrendering the Amrita, which will make the gods immortal and preserve eternal order. This story is among the most famous bas-reliefs found at Angkor Wat and supports the claim that the building was originally conceived of as a temple of worship rather than a funerary site. The building process of Angkor Wat seems to have ended shortly after King Suryavarman II's death, leaving some of the bas-relief decoration unfinished. After his death, Suryavarman II was given the posthumous name Prah Vishnu Loka or Parama Vishnu Loka, literally means the king who has gone to the supreme world of Vishnu. In 1177, approximately 27 years after the death of Suryavarman II, Angkor Wat was sacked by the Khampa kingdom, the traditional enemies of the Khmer. Thereafter, the empire was restored by a new king of the Khmer kingdom, Jayavarman II, who established a new capital and state temple, Angkor Thom and the Bayon, respectively, a few kilometers north of Angkor Wat, dedicated to Buddhism because the king believed that the Hindu gods had failed him. Consequently, Angkor Wat was gradually converted into a Buddhist site, and many Hindu sculptures were replaced by Buddhist art. Towards the end of the 12th century, Angkor Wat gradually transformed from a Hindu center of worship to Buddhism, which continues to the present day. In the early 13th century, Angkor Wat was abandoned. The next question is, why was Angkor Wat abandoned? The first reason is that the trade with China is promising. As the powers of the Angkor Empire waxed and waned going into the 13th century, trade started to become a very important aspect of the Khmer people. The country that offered the best trade opportunities to them was China. However, Angkor Wat was not a port city. Traders who wanted to make the most of the available trading opportunities had to shift to a location that was nearer to the sea, making trade feasible. That's why, slowly and steadily, traders abandoned Angkor Wat in search of greener pastures, with Phnom Penh being the traders' first choice. The second reason is the shift from Hinduism to Buddhism. We need to remember that the great temples within the city of Angkor Wat were all Hindu temples. When the people did not want to convert to Buddhism, then they decided to abandon Angkor Wat. The third reason is overpopulation. Even though Angkor Wat was considered a big city in those times, it was still insufficient for a population that was constantly growing. As space inside the Angkor Wat complex began to get congested, people began to feel the pinch of needing more resources that were getting harder to get with each passing day. That's why the residents who could abandon Angkor Wat looked for another places where they could shelter their families with an abundance of resources. The fourth reason is climate change. History suggests that Cambodia had several drought crises in the 13th, 14th, and 15th centuries, which led to total water system failure, leading to a mass exodus of people from the city. The fifth reason is the invasion of the Ayutthaya Empire in the 16th century. The Ayutthaya Empire wreaked havoc in Cambodia, and their invasion led to massive displacements of the local population. Siem Reap is one of the places that had to bear the brunt of the invasion, forcing people in the area to abandon Angkor Wat in search of safety. Nowadays, the Angkor Wat temple complex stands tall as one of the world's most iconic religious monuments. The ruins of the temple attract millions of tourists from all around the world each year who visit Cambodia just to get a glimpse into the glorious past of the ancient Angkor civilization. In the 19th century, various restoration programs were undertaken, but they were suspended amid the political unrest that engulfed Cambodia in the 1970s. In 1992, the Angkor Wat complex was designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO and was immediately added to the list of World Heritage in danger. In the ensuing years, restoration efforts increased, and Angkor Wat was removed from the danger list in 2004. Today, Angkor Wat was one of the most important pilgrimage shrines in Southeast Asia and a popular tourist attraction. Proudly, the Angkor Wat temple complex appears on the Cambodian flag. Now you know. You have a question?